What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and slide on these topics. And it seems as though that these accusers have taken the slogan from Diddy because they can't stop and won't stop filing these lawsuits against Diddy for violating them allegedly back in the day. So there has been another lawsuit that has been filed in the Supreme Court of New York County by a lady named April Lamprose, and she's alleging some real crazy stuff, right? So basically, she's a former student at New York City's Fashion Institute of Technology, and she's alleging that Diddy drugged and AR'd her back in the 1990s. Now, April recalled a meeting that took place back in 1995, and she said this meeting took place at a Soho bar in New York City. I believe Soho is a particular district within New York City. And basically, she said during that meeting, Diddy overpoured her with alcohol and then later took her back to his hotel room at the Millennium Hotel. Now, she's also saying that when they got to the hotel, that Diddy pumped her full of DURGS. And basically, she said that he forced himself upon her and she tried to fight him off. But then the next thing you know, she woke up the following day unclothed, sore, and confused. Now, following the alleged incident, she didn't go to the police and report it, and clearly she has privilege on her side, but she decided to keep her distance away from Diddy for months. That's until he reached out and invited her to this event, and she went. Now, April's reasoning for going to this event with Diddy after he violated her to the 10th power was based off of the fact that she tried to look at the bright side of things. Maybe it was just a mistake. Maybe it will never happen again. And I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Then shortly after that, we know that history repeats itself normally, right? And it decided to in this particular case, because one night after dinner, April says that Diddy forced her to perform in the parking garage of where this restaurant was located. And then she also says that there was a parking garage attendant that walked up on them and saw the incident taking place, and Diddy didn't seem to have not one care in the world and made her complete the task at hand. Now, after that night, she decided to dodge Diddy yet again, and he became angry, and her words were that he developed a mobster persona, basically threatening to blacklist her from the industry. Then April talks about a time when Diddy ordered her to come to his apartment back in 1996. She said that was the first time that she was introduced to Kim Porter. She said that Diddy gave her X. Then she says Diddy forced her and Kim to be intimate with one another while he watched. And now I guess in 1998, April saw the writing on the wall. She knew that she was not going to have the career that she thought that she was going to have within the industry. And so basically she severed all ties with Diddy. Now she claims that Kim Porter came to the restaurant where she worked and told her manager that she tried to poison her and demanded that April be fired. Now, Kim supposedly told the restaurant manager that if he didn't fire April, that Diddy would have the restaurant shut down. And so that led to the restaurant manager cutting ties with April, and she ended up losing her job. But anyway, that's the gist of April's lawsuit that she filed against Diddy. And I don't discredit her story. Absolutely not. But like I said about Crystal McKinney, I don't understand if you have privilege, why you didn't come forward a long time ago, because the privilege is on your side, which makes me begin to think that Diddy must have some incriminating evidence against the privilege that resume at the top of the music industry and the industry period. And that's the reason why he's still walking around here smoking and drinking, not giving a damn about the issues and things of that nature. That's how it comes across. He comes across as a narcissist, right? Because right after he apologized about what we saw in the video and didn't directly apologize to Cassie, he was seen smoking and drinking and having a good old time. Now, with all of that said, I don't like the fact that she brought Kim Porter into this. Now, I can't tell her to not tell her story. Her story is her story, and she has every right to speak out about it. But Kim is not here to defend herself, and I just didn't like it. I really didn't. I'm not saying that she's lying about Kim Porter and the things that she said that Kim Porter did. What I am saying is I didn't like the fact that she brought Kim Porter into it, and Kim is not here to defend herself. But anyway, I want to move along and talk about the first privileged girl to file a lawsuit against Diddy, and that was Crystal McKinney. I talked about her in the last video, the former model that said that Diddy made her do the same thing that he made April do in a New York recording studio. And a lot of people discounted and discredited her story, but come to find out, she kept the clothes from the incident that transpired that night. And those clothes could possibly have Diddy's DNA all over it. So what I want to do right here is play you guys a couple of clips in regards to this situation, and I also attached a clip of a lawyer giving her theory on how she feels the tape of Diddy and Cassie and the situation that happened at the hotel got leaked to CNN. So sit tight and I'll be back to read you Cassie's statement because she finally spoke out about this situation, all right?
Y'all, this cannot be real. Crystal McKinney kept the clothes. She kept the clothes. According to the court documents, Crystal McKinney went home after she woke up in that cab. She went home and she took the clothes off that had the cream of the crop of Diddy on them, and she put them in a plastic bag and she wrapped them and she kept them in the back of her closet. Baby, are you... That's how you know shit is real and shit is traumatizing, because for you to have to keep that, I really want to know why she didn't come to anybody and tell nobody. But I also know, like, you know, you waking up, you're lucid, you know things that have happened, you can track some stuff, but you can't track everything. But you know you was doing shit that you didn't want to do. That is some serious crap. And in my last video, people were asking, well, can she file a lawsuit? Can Diddy go to jail? No, Diddy cannot go to jail. In New York, the statute of limitations for civil SA cases is generally 3 years for cases that occurred before 2019. For cases that occurred after 2019, the statute of limitations is 20 years. But only for victims who were 18 or older at the time of the alleged abuse. Now, this happened in 2003, so I think because she's filing a civil suit, Diddy can't be arrested for it. He can't. But the fact that she kept them clothes, baby, all they got to do is put his DNA against them clothes, and whoop, there it is. Also, Shaka Khan's daughter came out and said she's happy that Diddy is finally getting his just desserts. According to Shaka Khan's daughter, Diddy went off on Shaka Khan and had his people jump on her brother. And Joe Budden, I think you need to hush, because baby, your ears are tweaking. It seems like the Diddys are coming out. The men that have actually done harm to women in the back are speaking up for Cassie. But baby, you need to hush up, because Tahiri has come out and made it very clear. And Tahiri's been talking for years, ever since Love and Hip Hop, when Joe Budden had a little problem with the and everything else of how he used to treat her. And they are going back and forth online. On top of that, Meek Mill has finally unfollowed Diddy, right along with LeBron. Stevie J ain't got none on his page. Carisha then unfollowed Diddy. I mean, girl, you should have been done that, but I guess you was trying to wait and see if everything was true, just like men. This is getting insane. But I'm going to do my best to keep up with everything. Bye, peoples.
Former model Crystal McKinney sued P. Diddy, saying that he sexually assaulted and drugged her back in 2003 when she was 22 years old. She was able to file the lawsuit now because of the New York Act that extended the period of time survivors of this kind of abuse could file lawsuits. She says in her complaint that she actually kept the clothes of the night that this happened in a plastic bag, and that she still has it in a plastic bag to this day. Certainly this lawsuit was motivated by the video that went out showing really horrific violence by P. Diddy against Cassie Ventura. I would think that would give confidence to women to be able to bring forward their stories, because they will not be as disparaged and labeled a gold digger as Cassie Ventura and others were in the beginning before this video came out. Certainly, I think that he will settle this lawsuit. Whether or not he does it quickly or not, it's hard to say. Strategically, he may not want to do it quickly, because he's going to probably have many lawsuits coming his ways if he did indeed act like this over so many years. He might want there to be some sort of deterrent and drag it out, but there's no way he's going to want to sit for a deposition, especially with the fact that the feds are still investigating him for trafficking. So watch him to probably settle this quickly, but there most likely are going to be other lawsuits coming his way.
I'm an attorney in real life. I don't play one on television. Let's talk about who leaked the tape of Cassie being beaten by Diddy and why it is a sign that things are about to get really bad for Diddy. So I've heard a lot of people say they think the feds leaked the tape. The more I think about that, I don't think that's true. And let me explain why. So let me tell you all who I think leaked this tape, why they did it, and why they did it the way in which they did. So the tape was leaked to CNN. CNN probably did not pay for this tape. They probably got it for free. So that is a big clue right there about who may have leaked this tape. And initially we would think, oh, it's someone who doesn't want money, someone who doesn't need money. But I actually think it's someone with quite the opposite motivation. So it's been reported that Diddy taped a lot. He taped his parties, the freak-offs. There are probably other tapes of Cassie being abused. There's a story that 50 Cent said that he received a tape regarding Cassie. So if there are a lot of tapes, there are probably quite a few people who have had access to these tapes over the years. And for people who had access to Diddy, they probably could not use these tapes, share them with the media, sell them to TMZ or someplace like that without being exposed. But now the game has changed. The situation has completely changed. Diddy has effectively been exposed through these lawsuits that have been filed. So what if someone had a treasure trove of tapes of Diddy and they are trying to get him to pay for the tapes that they have? This could also be called extortion. And they want him to pay for the tapes, but he's refusing. Because remember, he could have settled the Cassie lawsuit before it was filed. He settled it like a day after it was filed. He could have settled it before it was actually filed. But he didn't. He was stubborn. For whatever reason, he refused to. What if someone is saying, hey, I have these tapes. I want you to pay me millions of dollars so I don't release these tapes. And what if he's refusing? Because before the tape was released, he was saying, oh, I didn't do any of these things. People are just trying to tarnish my name. Well, what if the person said, pay me, Diddy refuses, and they release one tape to CNN, somebody who didn't give them money, so that Diddy could get a taste of what might be released if he continues to refuse to pay the person. The release of this one tape so far has had such a profound impact on Diddy. Everyone is saying he's done for. But what if there are tapes that are worse, much, much worse? Would he be willing to pay millions of dollars today to keep those tapes private? I bet he would. So my theory is that he's being extorted. And the person who released the tape is someone who has a lot more tapes of him. I don't believe it was a Fed, somebody who worked for Department of Homeland Security or a federal agency who released the tape, because their identity would probably be known. When a search warrant is executed, everything is tagged and bagged. People who has access to these documents that were gotten in the search warrant, it is known. So it would be very difficult for someone to release the tape, someone who's with the feds. They would basically be risking their career. I have represented enough federal law enforcement individuals to know that if they released the tape and they were discovered, they would be terminated. So I think my theory makes more sense, that someone is extorting him, that they have tapes that are much, much worse, and Diddy was refusing to pay them whatever they were asking for. And that's why they released this one tape. So that's why I think this tape that's been released is really bad news for him, because this may be the tape that had the lead, that was not the worst. What if there are tapes out there that are much, much worse? Let me know what you think in the comments about this.
All right, so you guys just heard all of that. Now I want to read Cassie's statement that she put out on Instagram, and it says, "Thank you for all the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now, but this is only the beginning. DV is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believe in victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you are powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but the support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Cassie." All right, so I'm so glad to see Cassie speak out. Even though she didn't say anything verbally, I'll just take her post because I know that it has to be so hard to relive her trauma, and especially for the whole wide world to see what actually happened to you. It has to be so degrading and embarrassing at the same time. And listen, I'm just so happy that Alex Fine was able to get Cassie out of that situation, because if he wasn't able to save her, you never know, she could have ended up like Kim Porter, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you all to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that was discussed within this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.